Hey guys, it's Retro, and I haven't posted on here in a while. Um, I gotta be kind of quiet because I got neighbors and shit. But yeah, I just wanted to like do one of my, you know, prolific like journal posts. So like the past 4 or 5 years have been like really difficult for me. Um, there's been like good and bad, life and stuff. But I think like finding some space and gaining some sense of independence has like been like the best possible thing to happen to me. I was facing homelessness, and I finally got a place to stay. This place, and it's the best thing that's like happened so far, in my opinion. Like honestly, like this past week has been perfect. Like being productive has made me like, hopefully, it continues, but being productive has made me feel really accomplished and confident and motivated. Like I've always struggled with demotivation. My head needs kind of redoing, I think. But yeah, I've always struggled with demotivation, and that's a big issue for me. But I haven't had that this past week, and everything's just been going right, and hopefully I can keep it up and I can actually make something of myself, because you know the most I could do is try. Like as long as I'm trying, good things will come. But like, yeah, I I don't really like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing something right. Yeah, like getting up in the morning and like going and doing something, or just doing something from my laptop is the best thing for me. And yeah, it's going really well. I if I was to like paint like a timeline of the past 5 years, it's like been a lot of mental health issues, and like, yeah, mainly mental health issues and struggling with money. I think like I suspect that I have got like bipolar. So I am diagnosed for like autism and psychosis and stuff, which I'm pretty open about. I don't mind sharing that. But yeah, I I've never really had a good time like throughout my life when it comes to regulating my emotions. I can go from real highs to real lows, and mostly highs. So it gets a bit chaotic, and I can get really emotional and stuff, and I don't know how to regulate myself. I used to have constant everyday panic attacks in secondary school. So I yeah, it's gone a lot better since I started taking medication and stuff for it. So yeah, I didn't really know what I was gonna. I just hit record and then I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna do this. But yeah, I I had like constant anxiety because of stuff that was happening with a family member that got really sick, and I put like my entire life into boxing, and that was kind of like my release. But it didn't really help because I was just constantly angry, and it turned into anxiety, and like then like self-deprecation, and low self-esteem. It's taken a lot for me to build that up again, because in primary school I used to be really confident and outgoing and stuff. Outgoing, I'd say, like socially, not really, like because I'm autistic. Like I've always been like cautious of danger and stuff, so I didn't really get into a lot of scrapes when I was young. I did get into scrapes, but um, I and then when I went to secondary school, it was a whole different vibe where I went and I couldn't really be myself as much, and I ended up kind of just secluding. Like I'd go to the library, sit in the back, and just read manga just all day, like when breaks and stuff, lunches and stuff. And I didn't really socialize that much. It kind of stunted me when it came to like learning how to travel and learning social cues and stuff. So yeah, I hit like the end of secondary school, and that's when my mental health reached the peak of just the worst it's ever been. I wouldn't say like the worst it's ever been because that was like around the time I went into psychosis, and then that was the worst. That was absolutely the worst. And anxiety's always been an issue for me, but I'm working it out. I've taken like precautions and stuff. Like today, I woke up really early and I felt hella anxious. I didn't have any air in my chest, and I just got up, got a shower, got dressed, and went straight to the gym. Did a heavy, intense like sprint slash run, and then I did upper body weights, and that just did a load of good for me. So I would say like if you're struggling with anxiety or something and stress, the best way to release it is probably exercise. So yeah, exercise is good for everybody, obviously. But yeah, I've always used exercise as a release, and then when I'm not, I quit boxing. So because of the weight issue, I had like an eating disorder, so I quit that, and you know, not having an outlet like that can really mess you up. And I'm glad that I kept on working out and stuff because I really need it. And I don't know why, but I've always had like quite a messed up head when it comes to, I would say like my psyche is quite chaotic. Um, but I mean well, and I think I'm a good person. I don't know. Honestly, nobody knows if they're a good person, and if they're saying they are, they don't know what they're talking about. Because how can you know? Um, so yeah, I, I'm just like trying to think back to. It's really difficult because all of it is really hazy and patchy when it comes to memories of my mental health and how like stuff is going. But the main takeaway from it for me is I don't know because I really don't want to be on medication for the rest of my life. And I think that's the thing keeping me stable. But like I love being myself off medication and being who I really am and experiencing the world in a real way and rather than just being numb. And that's a real issue I have. But I guess the main takeaway is it's okay not to know what you're doing. It's okay not to know anything really. Everything's a learning curve. So I, d- I don't really like to be this negative. Like I'm being positive and negative in a weird way. But it's good to reflect on like what are your flaws and then think about what's happening right now. How is it going? What can I do to change it? And think, is this really positive or is this really negative? and so far it's been positive for me in my experience of life so far. Like for now, everything's a roller coaster. But yeah, I'm trying to post more on here, maybe gaming, like guitar stuff, and maybe more journal posts like this. Um, yeah, but like gaining a sense of independence has done wonders for me. I'm 20 now. I'm turning 21 in November, and yeah, the amount I've been through on a mental, like you wouldn't believe. You it would be some movie stuff. Like, I can't even, and I don't really like to speak about it like that because I don't want to make it a big thing. Um, but yeah, it's I don't I don't really I'm just thinking like yeah. Thanks.